Hello everyone, and welcome to this funny special video of the first round of the Russian Championship, both men and women. Actually, no one was planning to have this video. It's basically we owe it to a friend of mine, which yesterday I was showing the games from the first round of the Russian Championship and going over the games. And basically my question was, what is happening in the water or other thing in Russia, Novgorod? Just incredible things happen in the first round. First of all, okay, all 5 games were decisive in the men's game, so we can always be happy and excited about this. But oh my gosh, after I showed the game, they said, okay, well, you need to do some special video for ICC about it. Like, no, this is really amazing. So here we are early in the morning, and we'll have a very quick recap of the unbelievable blunders that happen all across the board. Men, women, you cannot escape it if you played Russian Championship. First of all, Kramnik. Okay, well, I'm not saying blunder or no blunder, but let's quickly see this. By the way, computers say d4 is quite reasonable, but okay. What is this? I mean, I was checking the database just so I wouldn't make a complete fool out of myself, just a semi-fool. But of course, this is a bullet game. When I spoke with my friend, I said, oh, yeah, of course I will take white here in a bullet game. The diagonals are better for white and the pieces are jumping. Oh, this is what you are thinking when you have 50 seconds per each player. In a normal game, I very rarely had seen anything at all like that. Just, okay, I'm not certain. Maybe it's the best preparation in history. I can say I really doubt that. Okay, here we go. All right, well, another piece. So a rook down for 2 pawns. Again, I play a little bit bullet. I know in bullet white is in a great shape here because black king is stuck. By now we have 25 seconds, 30 seconds left. Black has to find 1 or 2 good defenses and he will spend 10 seconds and then he will lose on time. Just that it is the player number 2 in the world by rating that is playing this game. So, all right, bishop a8 was the right move for black, and at least according to computers, black is much better. Of course, it is very difficult and complicated position. Like, by no means I'm saying it is anything different. Still, the style of this game, to me, once again, indicates something in the water was unclear there. Okay, speaking about something in the water, 97 was played, and now white is such a genius. He's actually getting the piece back. If queen e7 is going to take, and then take on b7, so everyone's happy. Well, black got it in the absolutely worst version. Maybe he thought he has g5 and overlook knight take. I just have no idea what's happening here. Now I know white is already much better. Possibly winning here. For example, if something like g5, queen f5, and take on h7 just seems a big no-no for black. But okay, black decided to collapse much faster. And okay, just resign here. If knight f8, I believe white just moves the bishop, and the idea next, something cool like rook c1 and rook c7, really black has kind of no ways to prevent it. Okay, no words for me. Let's just take it back to the start. If you had seen it, something like these early openings, all right, well, but this at least I can say is something not concrete yet. At best we can say, okay, Kramnik wanted to play super interesting, sacrifice an exchange, thought he had some compensation. I think the next games will be a bit more difficult to defend for the players. So let's see our next example. Second game, Andrikin Karakin, basically they already met, I would say a month and a half ago, maybe about a month and a half ago in the World Cup, and Andrikin won, okay, then beat Peter Svidler, and only to lose to the big Russian, these days Kramnik in the final. Okay, well, we will cruise through the Queen's Indian. This h4 is becoming popular everywhere, the Grunfeld. Okay, but we are not here to discuss the opening. I just want quickly to get into the position. White actually seems to have gotten a better position. But this position, you don't need to have Houdini. You don't definitely need to be one of those super strong players. Although I have to say, Karakin hasn't been playing chess well for quite some time. Like actually been playing really opposite of a decent chess in about the last year. Yes, I know he won Norway tournament and he's not really playing well. That's clear. But look at this position. H6 was played and White ended up winning. You're more than welcome to see the game after it. But what is the most forced continuation? If you look at the Grand Prix systems for White, normal Grand Prix where f5 is being played and the queen goes to h4, well, what about take, attacking f7, and simply not much can be done here. I mean, White is going to break through either with an f4 and e5 or some ideas like a5 and bishop a3. I mean, Black is lost here. And we don't need huge calculations to see that Black is just lost here. Knight h5 is always met with g4. Really game over. In the game, both of those, like I said, amazingly strong players went completely different direction. And okay, then Black played really horrible and lost. But this is obviously a big blunder not playing this way. It's not hanging your queen, but just very bizarre. Well, and if this is very bizarre, well, let's see some other Russian stars, none other than the six-time champion of this tournament, Peter Svidler, against Nepomniachtchi. Here we go. Yeah, apparently h4. Doesn't matter where you have to throw some h4 in those games. Okay. Okay, not discussing much the game at all, just cruising to our position. Very, very funny game to see. But looks like White has some decent game here. Okay, White actually, I believe at some point here went a bit wrong, but this is what we have. All right. Now, speaking about bullet in the first game of Kramnik, what is the first move here to consider for Black? Absolutely first move. I don't know. Is there anything more logical than 93, jumping to the 6th rank with your knight, attacking the rook? I don't think there's anything more logical than that. Rook take f4. Of course, Black has this bishop to h6, and the big idea is after rook e4, just capture, 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 and the rook is always hanging on c1. And just 93 and combining it with ideas of knight g4 and bishop h6, and I believe computer said Black is a bit better, but it's not really important if it's tiny better for Black, much better, equal, or whatever, you name it. I mean, just 93 is absolutely the first second move that I believe should cross anyone's head, especially Nepomniachtchi, that was such an incredibly strong, not just player, he's even stronger in blitz and rapid. So I'm the last person that will be rude and doubt his chess instincts and chess ideas. This is why, again, I have to go to the water. Something was bizarre in the water out there, because I don't have any reasonable explanation how strongest players in the world, one after the other, just play insane. Okay, let's use polite words and say play insane. Well, instead play queen e6. That obviously the game is over. Okay, well, knight e3, Black probably slightly better. Queen e6, queen take f4, resign. I think some g5. This is the idea, something like that. And Black is absolutely a toast. Oh man. yeah, the game went something like this, and white ended up winning. But really, if there is some example for chess that we can take from this game, like look at the first natural moves. They won't prove to be that bad most of the time. 93 is most natural move. Go with it. If 93 not working, then start thinking about genius ideas. Queen e6. Maybe a bit less genius. Alrighty. Well, we are always being nice to the ladies, but they are not going to escape their fair share of the blunders, including especially one from the under 20 world champion. So let's give the ladies their part. So the ladies part. Well, the game between Kovanova against former world champion Konstantiuk had, well, just one bizarre moment. Maybe one of the listeners will be able to explain what happened here. All right. Well, since it happened on move 20, let me just show quickly the game. Then we will go to our other game. All right. Up until this position, I understand. This I also understand. I will stop at the moment that is a bit less clear. Long castle, h6, okay, theory, but we are not going to discuss it very much. Bishop b4, e5, knight h7, okay. Actually, quite interesting game here. After take on c3, the dark squares are so weak, so okay, nothing dramatic. Bishop c5. I actually missed a few moves before the moves castle and bishop e2, but it's not really important. I'm not even taking it back. I just want to get to our position. f6 was a strong possibility for black instead of rook b8, if I remember correctly. But here we are. Okay, and white is getting some pressure here. Queen d8 was played. I think this was a suggestion. Rook e7, and then the bishop can come quickly and kick the queen. And it's a bit important to keep the rook on e7, not to get checkmated. So other than that, everything's perfect. Okay, white has gotten some pressure here. This is true. When I showed my friend the position, okay, after some time, she was saying rook e7. A strong player, really strong player. Rook e7, which I think actually best move. And when asking what black played, okay, well, no idea. Okay, black played c5. And after bishop a6, just really losing a piece. I mean, it's quite incredible because once white is going to capture on c8, the queen cannot capture because the bishop is hanging. And the rook cannot capture because g7. I mean, this is just, you move a pawn, bishop take a6, and the game is pretty much over. Okay, rook ff7 was played, and white went on to a brilliant victory. But, well, if someone can explain once again, c5, bishop takes a6, well, you're very welcome. My best explanation so far is water, something in the water, but, well, let's see just one more. We are not going to skip the following game. But here I will have to set the position. And this is really, really interesting. Let's put the position on the board. Well, we are not going to skip Gunina against Goryakina. Goryakina just won the under 20 girls world championship, and she's just 15, so definitely one of the big promises in the chess world. I mean, okay, already 24, 40 around it, and okay, she will no doubt be one of the strongest women player in the world. Playing against Gunina, already one of the strongest players in the world, a member of the Russian team, European champion before. Okay, now seriously, what is this position? Can anyone believe that black can lose this position? Anyone? I mean, I don't. I mean, I went over this game and I said, OMG. Well, more than that and more than once. Knight c5. Okay, queen d8, of course, but not allowing even queen b4. Okay, nothing dramatic. Bishop d5, bishop e4. Like, seriously? Knight d7, rook d8, h4, queen g4. Okay, so white got tiny bit in the position, but really? I mean, is this a position that we are really discussing black losing after king g7, for example? No words. Okay, but wait, it's getting better. Take. Now what? When I show this position to my friend again and counting till 10, because let's assume that the players had 10 seconds. Okay, queen d7 was played, and indeed, happily ever after, black is going to make a draw here and everyone's happy. Okay, I can understand, I prefer white, but queen d1, maybe not really a draw anymore, right? Getting the queen so far from the king, and why? From the pieces, from defenses of those. I mean, unimaginable what happened in the last few moves. No, and okay, here already lost. What to do? Like, everything under attack was maybe tiny better to have the queen on d7. But wait, that's not it. So this is what they play. And the pawn endgame is of course lost. Now, I do not pretend to really be understanding much about the pawn endgame, but table base was very, very clear in helping, so I'm going to refer to him every time. I will explain in 1-2 lines my simple understanding here. King g2 is the simplest way, and the main reason is that after a move such as king h5, we're going to play here, and now we're just going to go back. And black is lost because we are playing g4 here, and if he goes back, all right, he cannot go to g4, and ta-da. Okay, this I understand on my own even. Well, g4 was played, and I believe the g4, honestly, didn't have so much time to prepare those games. It's very early in the morning, and those games were just played yesterday, and we won them on air immediately. But I believe that table base is saying f6 is a draw. The idea is that black king gets to go to e6 when white king is on e4. Draw. Okay, this is a long time game. Instead, just quite funny what happened here. Well, maybe not so much for black. g4 was played, king g6. Now losing because white gets to play this f5. White gets to play here f5, and black is not in time to build a fortress. And here black is just lost. Same method, right? And the king is going to the other side. Okay, f5 was not played. King g3, king f6. Once again, f6 is a draw. Okay, you cannot get really much less pieces on the board than 2 pawns versus 1 pawn. All right, king f6, king f3. Still winning. King e6. Okay, f5. Again, f5 is winning. Now the king is going from the other side. Winning. Okay, no need to play f5 here. King e3. Okay, f6, a draw. Why is it a draw? Because king e4 is met with f5. This I understand also. So this is a draw. Well, almost. King e2. Now, it is not exactly a distant opposition, but yeah, we can put it as a distant opposition. King e7 should be played, and the idea is that after king d2, black can play king d8. Now it's clear distant opposition. It's just important that black gets to go to the 6th rank opposing white king. Well, amazingly enough, black played king d5. Okay, now the game is finally finished. because it is white that got the opposition on the 6th rank. The entire battle was opposition on the 6th rank, and, well, that's it. The game continued actually king d7, and king c5, and resign. Well, now this f5 is coming useful. Unbelievable. But, all right, to me, actually, the pawn endgame is less dramatic. When I spoke about this with my friend, well, her comment was, okay, the woman, well, at that time, the woman world champion Ushinina couldn't win with a knight and a bishop, right? She made a draw in the Women Grand Prix. What do you want from them in this complicated pawn endgame? All right, the pawn endgame, I'm not saying a word, but the position before the pawn endgame? Okay, well, let's see how the second round shapes up. But this was big, huge blunders in at least half of the games, some of them just shocking. So I don't know what's happening in Russian chess, but, well, let's see how the rest of the tournament shapes up. I hope you enjoyed this special funny video. Bye-bye.